This video will walk you through the steps of building a schedule of classes. To begin, log into myCoyote using your CSUSB credentials. Once you're logged into myCoyote, scroll down to the Administrative Systems tile. One item to note, your home screen may vary from the one on this video due to permissions. After you find Administrative Systems, click on it to open the links to PeopleSoft. Locate PeopleSoft CS and click on it to open the PeopleSoft platform. Some people like to use favorites to ease the process of getting to the page needed. Here, however, we'll go step by step. Click on Main Menu. Click on Curriculum Management. Click on Schedule of Classes. Click on Schedule New Course. Enter the term for the semester you want to work in. CSUSB's naming convention is the first number of the millennium, last 2 digits of the year, and the term code. We use 2 for winter intersession, 4 for spring, 6 for summer, and 8 for fall. So for fall of 2020, the term will be 2208. Next is the subject area, which is typically your department. Most of the time, you will not need to enter something in here because permissions are tied to academic org. However, some areas, like world languages and literatures, will have multiple academic orgs. So in that case, to enter a French class, you would need to input FREN or SPAN for a Spanish class. This video will use marketing. Since this profile has access to many academic orgs, I need to enter MKTG in the subject area. We will also show 3 different ways to find a course to build. The first option is if you do not know the catalog number nor the description, also known as course title. You can enter MKTG in the subject area and click Search. This will provide results of all marketing semester courses. Select the course you would like to schedule for. I'm going to select Marketing Research or Marketing 4160. If you know the level of the course, you can input MKTG 4 ### to see just the 4000 level classes. The second option is if you do not know the catalog number, but you know the title. If you know the title, you can enter it or parts of the title in the description, but be sure to change the drop-down Begins to Contains. For this example, let's look at research. Type in research and press search. All the marketing semester courses populate in the search below. The third option is if you happen to know the catalog number. If you know the catalog number, you can enter it and press search. This will take you directly to the build screen. I'm going to use Marketing 4160. Once inside Schedule Build, much of the basic data screen is already completed, but there are some items to look at. First, the session should be a 1 for fall or spring semester. Winter intersession and summer will fall under self-support. Winter intersession will be 3WI and summer will be 6W1, 6W2, or 10W. Next, you will add in your course section in Class section. The class section must be unique within the course offering and term. Enter the desired class section number. It's recommended to follow these guidelines when assigning a section number. 01 to 49 is reserved for San Bernardino on-campus courses. 50 to 59 is reserved for College of Global Education. 60 to 69 is reserved for San Bernardino off-campus courses. 70 to 79 is reserved for distance learning, televised, hybrid, and fully online. 80 to 99 is reserved for Palm Desert campus. PDC also has a further breakdown of section assignments. Contact the Office of Academic Curriculum and Scheduling for the specifics. To the right of class section is the start-end date. You will be able to verify the dates of the semester as it was built in PeopleSoft. You should never change these dates. The component portion defaults to the type of course set by the curriculum process. Marketing Research happens to be a lecture, but you may see ACT for activity, LAB for laboratory, SEM for seminar, CLIN for clinical, SUP for supervision, DIS for discussion, and PRAC for practicum. You should not change this. Class type will default to primary enrollment section. In a multiple component course, the other option is non-enrollment, non-primary component section. All multiple component courses must have 2 sections entered, one primary and one non-primary. Now we move down to associated class. By using associated class numbers, you link class sections that constitute a single course offering. For instance, oftentimes science courses offer a lecture and a lab. Through associated class numbers, the 2 components now show that they are related to one another. An example would be Section 1 being the lecture, with Sections 2 through 4 being labs. As long as associated class stays 1 for all 4 sections, the 3 lab sections will be associated with the lecture. If a course only has 1 component, this number must equal the class section number. Campus indicates where the course will be taught. Our options are Main for the San Bernardino campus and Palm for the Palm Desert campus. Make sure your class section number matches the campus the course will be held at. Location, no matter which campus is chosen, should remain CSUSB. Course administrator is informational only. PeopleSoft intended it for the person in charge of the course, which is usually the primary instructor. However, at CSUSB, this field is not used and therefore left blank. Looking at instruction mode, the system defaults to P for classroom instruction. If the course is a course match online section, fully online section, hybrid classroom online section, hybrid online sync section, or online class section, you can click search for the code by clicking on the magnifying glass. If the course is one of those just mentioned, there's an additional step that we will cover when we get to the Meetings tab. Typically, we do not alter any of the remaining information in the Class Sections box. Moving to Class Topic, we have the Course Topic ID. If you have a seminar with multiple topics, this is where you'd enter the topic. Click on the magnifying glass to look up the approved topics for this course. If there are no options after clicking on the magnifying glass, that is an indication a topic was not submitted through CourseLeaf's Curriculum Inventory Management, our online curriculum process. You have the option to check the Topic in Schedule box to have this topic appear in the class schedule. The equivalent course group section is not used at CSUSB and should not be altered. Our last box on the Basic Data tab is the Class Attributes. All classes should default with CLEV or course level, and the appropriate value and SOTI should be Y, so the course is flagged for student opinion surveys. Online courses should be changed to O, so the SOTI will be administered online. Other pre-populated attributes could include GE for a general education course or DES for a GE designation, which could include WI for writing intensive, G for global perspectives, and D for diversity and inclusiveness. Visit the General Education website to find out what courses have these special designations. As a reminder, if a value is pre-populated into the Class Attributes section, do not change it. If you selected Course Match or Fully Online for your instruction mode, you must add a class attribute. To add a class attribute, click on the plus symbol after the last course attribute. Type in FONL or look up Fully Online with the search function. The value for a Course Match class is CM, while the value for Fully Online courses is AB386. You might notice a SELF in the values option. This is only used for summer by College of Extended and Global Education, as SELF indicates the course is self-support. Because this class meets face-to-face, I will return the instruction mode to P and remove the FONL class attribute. Now we can move on to the Meetings tab by clicking on Meetings. The Facility ID is where you enter the location where the class will meet. During initial schedule build, you're able to input the location directly into Facility ID if the location is available and within your allocation. This video demonstrates the initial schedule build. Since this is a business course and we want them to use the computers, let's assign the class to JB255. Not sure of the exact room number, clicking on the magnifying glass will help you research. If you're building the course and/or section after optimization or the initial schedule build period, and the course meets face-to-face, you must leave this part blank and you'll be required to go into EMS to find and assign a meeting location after the term has been published If the course meets off campus or is fully online, you can enter that information into the facility ID. Capacity is system populated from the facility table. PAT, or pattern, is the meeting pattern for when the course meets. The system assigns a final exam code based on the first class meeting pattern. This could be, just to name a few of the popular patterns, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday pattern, Monday, Wednesday pattern, Tuesday, Thursday pattern, or Friday, Saturday pattern. Let's make this one a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next is the meeting start. Enter when the class starts in meeting start and press tab on your keyboard. The meeting end time will automatically populate based off the standard meeting time blocks for the meeting pattern, and the days to the right will have check marks. Meeting start time should follow the standard time blocks approved by the Office of Academic Programs. Changing the start and end date will cause conflicts and catastrophic errors within PeopleSoft, so please do not change it. Also, you may notice this section has a topic ID like the Basic Data tab. The meeting pattern topic ID is reserved for CG use only, and if your stateside course has a topic, you must enter that on the Basic Data tab. Now that you have identified the location and meeting pattern, click on the class APDB mapping values towards the top. Do not change the CS number nor the component units. Altering these numbers will cause errors in reports sent to the Chancellor's office. What you do need to verify is the APDB learning mode, which generally defaults to 09. Click on the search to view the various types of learning mode. If your instruction mode differs from face-to-face, you will choose the appropriate mode from the search results and click OK. If you do not have a faculty identified to teach the course, you can click Save and add the section to PeopleSoft and the semester schedule. When a faculty has been identified, you'll come back to this screen from the Maintain Schedule of Classes option instead of Schedule New Course. If you have a faculty identified to teach the course, you can continue on to the Instructors for the Meeting Pattern section. Enter the faculty's employee ID number into the box under ID. To look up the faculty able to teach in the department, click on the magnifying glass. Standard business practice is for all faculty teaching the course to be assigned as primary instructor in the instructor role column. The print box automatically is checked. This will indicate who is teaching the course when student looks up the course through the course schedule. Under Access, there are three choices: Approve, Grade, and Post. Grade gives the faculty access to view the grade roster but not input or post. Post allows the faculty to view a completed grade roster and post grades. Approve allows the faculty to enter grades into the grade roster and post them. It's standard business practice to assign all faculty with Approve access. Next, you need to enter the employee record number associated with the faculty. Click on the magnifying glass to bring the lookup. Choose the appropriate record number. For Dr. Seitz, Record 0 is her teaching record, which is indicated by the job title, and in this case, Instructional Faculty Academic Year. Clicking on anything in that top row will populate the employee record number and enter the job code. If job code is left blank, that could mean two things: you chose the wrong record number, or that the faculty does not have an active appointment. This should be corrected by picking a different record number or verifying the faculty member does have an active appointment. The job code should never be left blank. If just one faculty is teaching, we can move to the Enrollment Control tab. To assign more than one faculty to a course, click on the plus sign and enter the second faculty member's information, just like we did for the first faculty member. If you've entered two or more faculty, you must click and correct information on the Workload tab. When clicking on the Workload tab, look for APDB Department ID and Load Factor. The APDB Department ID automatically defaults to the academic organization from the Basic Data tab. However, for some courses that are controlled by colleges or faculty that are able to teach in multiple subjects, we need to change this academic organization to the subject that is their primary subject. Use the search function to display a list of all academic orgs in APDB Department ID. The total load for the course must always equal 100, so you must change the load factors appropriately. For this course, we'll assign Dr. Seitz 75% of the course and Dr. Ryan 25%. Tabbing out of the box will cause the workload amount to adjust automatically. We leave room characteristics and academic shift alone and move to the Enrollment Control tab. In the Enrollment Control tab, we can change the status of the class by ticking on the drop-down next to class status. The choices are Active, Canceled, Stop Further Enrollment, and Tentative Section. We'll leave this class as active since we want students enrolling in the fall. When the faculty designed the curriculum, they may have requested the course have department consent. If that's the case, Add Department Consent will show Department Consent required. If your department chair wants the course to have department consent, but it was not included in the initial curriculum, you can click on the drop-down and select Department Consent required. The other area that can be adjusted is the enrollment capacity. Since this classroom will seat 40, the enrollment capacity is set to 40. However, you can adjust if the course needs a lower capacity. One item to note, however, if you lower the enrollment capacity more than 2 or 3, you should consider finding a smaller classroom to utilize the space appropriately. The last tab we may need to view is Reserve Cap. The Reserve Cap tab is specific to any course match courses. All course match courses must have 15 seats reserved during registration. If you're scheduling a course match course, you will create another row in Reserve Capacity Requirement group by clicking on the plus. Enter the first day of the registration in the start date. In the requirement group, enter 001019, or you can search for course match. Capacity enrollment is 15. On row 2, enter the day before classes begin. Use the same information for requirement group 001019 and leave 0 in the capacity enrollment. On August 23, 2020, the 15 seats held for course match students will be released to open enrollment. Now you're ready to create this course. Click the Save button to make this course active.